the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Tuesday morning. We are glad that you have joined us wherever and whenever it is that you join us each and every day here on the Auburn Blitz. And making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. This is Brett here, flying solo here on a Tuesday morning. Going to head over to practice here in just a little while. Again, this is a recorded podcast, so won't be able to interact with you live this morning, but I did want to get on here because a lot to dive into, a lot of news. Coach Freeze with his press conference as he has every Monday. Some interesting things he said coming out of that. We'll talk about that, break down this Auburn-Arkansas matchup on Saturday, and a kickoff time set for Kentucky was released, so we'll maybe talk a little bit about that. Another night game, obviously, at Jordan-Hare. You can't ask for a better draw as far as game times this year for this Auburn team. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to come through. So Auburn 0-4 in SEC play. Again, looking at it from a standpoint of, yes, all four of those teams have been ranked in the top 15. Very tough. Their record combined is really, really good. But that doesn't ease the pain of what Auburn has not done in those games, and finding ways to lose games, or maybe not win games is a better term. The frustrating thing for me, and I think a lot of people that follow Auburn and cover Auburn and pull for Auburn, is that the defense is plenty good. The defense is plenty good to be a top 5 team in the country. They've held every offense below their average, and the problem is that Auburn's offense can't score more than 20 points in an SEC game, and as a matter of fact, they're the only team in the SEC. Now, here, talking about stats and what we talked about yesterday, they're the only team that hasn't scored 20 or more points in an SEC game. I mean, so there's no doubt why they haven't been able to pull these games off, and there's no doubt if they can't get better than that they won't win anymore. This Arkansas team is not very good. I don't care how you want to spin it. You can talk about a lot of different things, and they've got some great pieces, but they fired their coach. They're one of the teams out there this season that's already pulled the trigger and fired their coach. Sam Pittman's not there. Bobby Petrino steps in. Maybe a little rejuvenation, but at the end of the day, Arkansas is 2-5. And there's nothing else really to say more than that. Now, when you look at their schedule, they have a win over Alabama A&M. Auburn scored 70 on them last year to open the season. They have a win over Arkansas State. Okay, but they lost to Ole Miss, close. Lost to Memphis, close. Lost to Notre Dame, not close. And then lost to Tennessee and Texas A&M, close as well. So they've had a lot of close games. Sounds like Auburn, doesn't it? Sounds like right there, about to get over the hump. Can't figure out a way to do it. But here's the difference in what Arkansas not getting over the hump looks like versus Auburn not getting over the hump. Arkansas loses 41-35 to Ole Miss. They lose 32-31 to Memphis. They lose 34-31 to Tennessee, and they lose 45-42 to Texas A&M. Auburn's completely opposite of that. When you look at Auburn and look at their results, it's all defense. It's losing 24-17, losing 16-10, losing 20-10, losing 23-17, not giving up very many points, but can't score any. So how does this game set up for Auburn? When you look at it from what they do good, they score a lot of points. What they don't do good is stop anybody. Well, the problem with Auburn is, even though you may not play, and they played pretty good. They played above average defense. They played really good defense, as a matter of fact. But they can't get over 20 points. And Arkansas gives up a boatload. So does that mean you're going to see an Auburn offense finally break the 20 mark? And if they do, can they score 24 to 28 and possibly win a game against a 2-5 Arkansas team? Or will we see an Arkansas team that's able to break the Auburn defensive trend and score more than what Auburn's been allowing against most teams, and maybe score at their season average or higher? So that's going to be an interesting matchup. And, Bobby Petrino is on audition. He's trying to get this job. He's trying to say, look, I'm the guy. And even though Auburn's 3-4 and winless in SEC play, it's still Auburn coming to town. And if he can somehow pull that game off, all of a sudden he's got a feather in his cap. Auburn is a 1.5 point favorite, and now it's flipped to Arkansas being a 1.5 point favorite, which feels about right. I couldn't believe that Auburn even opened up as a 1.5 point favorite, but they flipped to Arkansas. So again, Auburn's defense, there's no doubt, I think, will show up and play well. I think they'll do what they need to do to put Auburn in position to win. They've done it for a year and a half under DJ Durkin and that side of the ball. But can Auburn's offense muster anything? And one thing that came out of this press conference yesterday is that there's not going to be a change in quarterback. And again, doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, whatever you want to call it, with Hugh Freeze, he's going to ride with Jackson Arnold. Now, he did say that, Ashton Daniels would get some reps with the ones, and maybe that's the first time you've seen anything like that happen since fall camp. But Ashton Daniels, or since spring camp, spring practice. But you're going to see an opportunity maybe. We'll be at practice today. We'll see if we see any of that in the window that we get. But I think sticking with Jackson Arnold, thinking he's going to eventually get over the hump, call it commitment, call it backing your guy up, or call it stubborn, whatever. I think a lot of people would have thought that you would have tried something different at this point. But again, going into another game, if you see more of the same against an Arkansas team that gives up a boatload of points, if Jackson Arnold's not able to really move the ball. Now, again, the first drive seems to be perfect. The last 2 weeks, no problem going down the field and looking really good, and the play calling looking really good, and being able to cash it in to start the game with a touchdown. I mean, at home, at night, you can't get better. But then in the tank, the offense goes. And trying to figure out a way to finish games and crunch time plays and making plays in crucial moments. That's what Hugh Freeze has said the last 2 or 3 times when he's been in front of the media. And the answer is, so far, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen Jackson Arnold be able to make any plays in crucial moments. And again, we've talked about stats, and we talked about them yesterday. A lot of you chimed in on that. When Auburn's had the ball in all of these games with a chance to win, not just once, but multiple times, and they cannot put anything together to finish a game. And so, again, I don't know where you get confidence that anything's going to change. And now you got to go on the road, and you got to go play an Arkansas team that's a little bit more scary probably now than they were a few weeks ago. Because they did get rid of Sam Pittman, and it does seem like there's a little bit more of an edge to this Arkansas team. And I'll be honest with you, I've always thought Taylon Green was the real deal. I've always liked him, and his numbers show. I mean, he's right at 63% completion percentage this year. He's thrown for 1,910 yards, for 17 touchdowns and 5 picks. He's not afraid to throw the ball around. They are dynamic offensively. Washington Jr. has 671 yards rushing. And, if you look at Taylon Green's numbers rushing the ball, he's got 589 yards rushing already as a quarterback. So he's thrown for 1,910 yards, and he's thrown and then he's rushed for 589. So true dual threat quarterback. And when you look over at Jackson Arnold's numbers, not anywhere close. A little over 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick now. Can Jackson Arnold get it done? That's the question. And the answer to this point's been no. And 0-5 start. Here's another thing to consider. Again, Auburn has played these 4 teams in SEC play, and they've all been ranked in the top 15. Well, guess what? Arkansas's not. They're 2-5. And yeah, they've lost several close games, but they're still 2-5, and they fired their coach. So if you're to lose this game, now you can't go in there and say, well, we've been playing these top 15 teams close, and we've just been coming up on the short end of the stick, and we've just not been able to make plays. You can't use that in the press conference Saturday afternoon if you don't beat Arkansas. If you lose to Arkansas, you can't go in there and say, well, we lost to another top-ranked team. You lost to a team with a losing record at that point. And now, at that point, and again, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping Auburn can find a way to get a win and maybe get some positive momentum going in the last part of this season, because Lord knows they need it. But they got to go out and show it. They've got to be able to go out and prove that they can do whatever they need to do. So some news, another captain lost, this time on the field. I'll talk about that here in just a second, but I want to talk about some of our partners here on the program. Sensa Green, for air that is cool and clean, call on Sensa Green. They are the carrier experts here in the state of Alabama, proud supporters of Auburn Blitz podcast and the Auburn athletic department. So again, we appreciate Sensa Green saving people thousands of dollars on new installs. If you need a new unit, you need to call on Sensa Green. They'll get it done for you. And again, they'll save you money on your power bill with this new energy efficient carrier unit. So check out Sensa Green for heating, cooling, and insulation. Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm located in Birmingham, Alabama, working on major projects throughout the state of Alabama and the Southeast, taking you from the pre-construction phase to the finished product. You need a company like this. If you got a multi-million-dollar project that you're trying to manage, you don't have time to do it, nor do you have the expertise to do it. And you're not going to be able to be on site every single day and hold people accountable and making sure things are done the correct way. So you need to hire Scout Program Management. They will handle it for you. Again, they are the professionals. Let them do their job, and you will be very grateful that you did choose Scout. Bunkers in downtown Auburn on Glen, 50 parking spots. You never have to worry about finding a parking spot. They got the 2 bars. It is just an awesome place to go. So many TVs. The atmosphere is great. They got live music going on. Auburn's going to be on the road this weekend. I can't think of a better place to go and hang out and watch the game other than Bunkers. If you're in Auburn and you just want to go hang out in a cool place, their food is phenomenal. So don't worry about trying to do all this cooking and stuff. Go to Bunkers, have a good meal, have some drinks, take advantage of the specials they have there, and maybe play some little simulated golf in there in the simulator bay. So go to Bunkers, downtown Auburn. You will be glad that you did. Okay. Kel Ellis had to come in at center for Connor Lew in the Missouri game and finished. Thought he played pretty well. Had some high snaps. Had some snap issues. Jackson Arnold was able to handle that. It never ended up being a disaster, but got to work on that. But Connor Lew out with a torn ACL, announced yesterday. Again, that is a tough loss for Auburn up front on the offensive line. Connor Lew is the anchor of that line, and the experience. You got one of the, I think he may be the youngest player in college football now that he is going to be starting in Kel Ellis. But again, the times he's had to come in, he's played well. He had to come in on the road at Oklahoma when Connor Lew went down. So just hate it for Connor Lew because he's a gritty, tough player, smart, gets everybody lined up correctly. Obviously, he's an NFL player, future player, and now you got to resort to a guy which, again, has played well to this point, but a young guy that's got a ton of responsibility on his back moving forward. And now you're going to probably see some shifting around of maybe some offensive linemen in some different places, and maybe see Too Tall out there a little bit more. Maybe see some guys shifted around. So we'll see at practice today. We'll try to give an update on that and kind of see how that goes. But again, just a tough break. Can't say that enough. Hate it for Connor Lew. Hate that he's not going to be able to come back and finish this season. But Coach Freeze talked about that in his press conference yesterday. He did say this. He said one of the toughest things about coaching is watching kids go through the way they prepare and work all year for these 12 opportunities in the regular season. Talking about Connor Lew, he said he's an incredible leader, incredibly smart guy that obviously missed some in the second half. But then he talked about Kel Ellis and talking about him battling his tail off and going to be a really, really good player, but there's nothing like experience, having to get up there and reset protection based on a look, and then having to do that and snap the ball with great accuracy so the timing of the plays is good. That's the first change that's got to be made, and we certainly hate that for Connor. He's a great kid. He'll be back and be better than ever next season, but losing him does hurt for sure. So he said we'll get Kel ready, of course, and then, of course, heard that Connor Lew was up there at the football complex working with Kel Ellis on some film study and trying to help him get ready for the game coming up on the road on Saturday. So good to hear. So now moving to some comments from Hugh Freeze on some questions he was asked in the press conference. One, he was asked about John Cohen and if he had talked to John Cohen since Saturday and what a statement of support would mean to him. This is what Freeze had to say about that. He said it'd be huge. That would make everyone feel a lot better for sure. I haven't talked to John. I will say John has been so supportive ever since my hire. I don't get too much into it. They have a job to do, certainly, and he has people he has to answer to. I know how close we are, and I know I can get this fixed. We're too dang close. We have to get a little bit better play and a little bit better coaching at a few spots. I want a chance to fix this. I've totally gotten off of all social media, so I'm not sure what exactly was said in those other cases, but that has to be reassuring to those people in there that they believe they can get it fixed. Again, I've trusted John since I've been here to do the right things, and he has to do what he feels like is best for the program, of course. I think it is us. I think we fit Auburn. I think we fit the Auburn culture. I think the culture is building and in the building has changed. I think the talent level has changed. Unfortunately, we just haven't gotten over the hump in a very difficult stretch of games, but I believe that's coming very, very soon. I don't know. Is it? I hope so. I hear this every week in the post-game pressers. I hear it, every week during the week at practice. Maybe it will. We're all pulling for it. We're all hoping it's going to change. But to this point, it has not. And Auburn's 0-4, and they got another losing record right now. So what can they do coming up? What does the rest of the season look like for Auburn is the question. And when you look at their schedule, I mean, you got 5 games left. Can you win out? You can. The talent level's there. You've got 3 games at home and 2 on the road. You got to go to Arkansas Saturday, then you come back home for Kentucky, then you go to Vanderbilt, which all of a sudden is brutal. That game will either be a 2:30 or 3:30 start in the afternoon. The Kentucky game's already been announced as a 6:30 start. Then you're going to have Mercer, which, again, you've already beaten the other two non-conference teams on your schedule in Ball State and South Alabama. Well, you beat Baylor too, but Ball State and South Alabama, which you consider gimmies, and then you got another which you should consider a gimme in a 3-4 Mercer team. But we've seen Auburn lay eggs in games like that before too. But then you got Alabama to finish up on November 29th. Can Auburn be on a 4-0 streak going into that game? And could that? I mean, what would that look like? You know, could Auburn be a team that has reeled off 4 in a row going into Alabama? Well, it starts on Saturday with Arkansas, and if they lose that game, and then, you know, really at that point you gotta start thinking about what the future of the program looks like. I mean, you got to think about what the future of the program looks like right now, because you're right back in the same position, staring down the barrel of a losing season again, just like you have the previous 4. Just unacceptable. And all the stats that we've reeled off the last couple of days, and the things that have been done here at Auburn over the last 4 or 5 years is just really mind-blowing, and how bad it has gotten here and how it has gotten away from this program. So Arkansas is a team that Auburn's had their number, even in down years. Can Auburn go on the road and beat Arkansas? We'll see. I think the defense will give them a chance, but this is probably one of the better offenses Auburn will play up until this point, and that's crazy. They do score a ton of points, and they're going to have to do some. They're going to have to do some things. So we'll see. Let's talk about a few more of our partners here on the program, and then we'll close it out with a couple of things in recruiting and maybe a little basketball. We're going to see basketball today. Stephen Pearl, a few players will be available after practice, so we'll have some information on that. But Old Number One Customs just finished up. A lot of you have seen on my Instagram and my Facebook page the video of our bathroom. It is unbelievable. If you want a bathroom or bedroom or kitchen or living space or outdoor living space, model, build, or rebuild, you need to call Old Number One Customs, 334-752-6162. They are phenomenal. They do outstanding work. I'm a personal testament of that. Go check them out there on Instagram. You will not be disappointed, I promise. JFA Blue Plumbing, 844-JFA Blue, always talking about the Home Atlas Water Filter Duo system for purified drinking water in your house. It will take all the toxins and all the junk out, making sure you're drinking clean, purified water. Go check out JFA Blue Plumbing, 844-JFA Blue. They'll fix all your plumbing problems too. If you're having any issues, they'll take care of it. And Oliver Ross, a fully licensed bartending company that will send licensed and trained bartenders to your next function. They'll handle all the setup, the breakdown, tailgates, frat sorority parties, private parties, conventions from 20 to 20,000 people. They can do it. Check out Oliver Ross. Man, they are such a great group. I've been to several functions where they handle the bartending services, and it is second to none. So if you've got a party or a function coming up, you need to check out Oliver Ross. And then, of course, Russell Medical Center in Alexander City on Highway 280, voted one of the top 3 best hospitals in the state of Alabama. Small town healthcare, and again, big time healthcare in a small town environment. Great doctors, great healthcare providers. Partnered with UAB Medicine. Don't know what else you need. Go check out Russell Medical Center for all your medical needs right here in Alexander City on Highway 280. All right, just a few notes to end on. A positive for Auburn, and a lot of you will remember this. Frank Thomas, who has a statue, who is a Hall of Famer, who is an Auburn all-time great. His son, Frank Thomas III, will be following in his dad's footsteps. The 2027 IMG class of 27 IMG baseball player Frank Thomas III committed yesterday to play for Coach Butch Thompson and the Auburn Tigers. His numbers this past season, he batted .544 at a slugging percentage of .899, had 43 hits, 15 extra base hits, 5 home runs, and 41 RBIs. Runs in the blood. Frank Thomas III committing to Auburn, that was a big deal. And then Braylon Womack, I thought, issued a statement that was very interesting. One of Auburn's top recruits, a 5-star safety, somebody that, again, Ohio State, everybody wanted. And with Auburn struggling, to be honest, how do recruits feel about this? He had made some comments about Auburn not scoring 20 points or not being able to score 20 points. And you got to be able to score 20 points in SEC play if you want a chance to win. He kind of backed that up, though. A lot of people started taking that and running with it, going, hey, is he going to decommit? Is he disgruntled? When is he going to jump ship? Well, this is what he said on his X page. He said, in regard to the article that's circulating, I want to be clear. He said, I want to clear the air. My intentions were never to badmouth Auburn's offense. I'm just a competitor who's passionate about the game and excited about what's being built here. Auburn has so much potential, and I can't wait to be part of it. I just don't want anything taken out of context from what I said about the recent games. I will continue to support my team, win, lose, or draw, but I will also continue to hold us to the highest standard, War Eagle. I mean, very fair. Why wouldn't you want your team to get better? And so he cleared the air that, yeah, he was critical a little bit, but it's just because he has high expectations. And he said what we've all been saying, Auburn has so much daggum potential, but not getting anything out of it, and it sucks. And there's no other way around it. But, Braylon Womack kind of doubled down and said he's committed, and, he's going to be there to support and can't wait to be at Auburn. But maybe everybody doesn't feel that way. Maybe some of these, commits are going, maybe I need to look elsewhere because it just doesn't seem like Auburn can get over the hump. At some point in time, and we said this till we were all blue in the face going into the season, Auburn's got to win some football games. Auburn's got to win games, and the rest will take care of itself. But what they haven't done, again, is not win football games. And we're back in the same situation that we have been all the time talking about Auburn football. Just cannot find ways to do it, but yet continue to garner top-ranked recruits. And how long can you continue to do that? How long can you continue top-ranked players to come to Auburn and convince them to come to Auburn when you can't win football games and you can't produce a winning product on the field? So I don't know. Again, it's good to hear that the top recruit in the class is like, I ain't going anywhere. I want it to get better. Yes, I hold us to a high standard, but, I'm going to be critical a little bit when Auburn's not playing their best. And you got to like that out of a kid like Braylon Womack. So kudos to him. And not that he owed anybody an explanation, but felt like he wanted to come out and let everybody know where he stands. So that's great. So, all right, last thing I want to talk about this morning, something I saw yesterday is crazy. One-score records by current SEC coaches. Obviously, Sam Pittman doesn't count because he's out. But Hugh Freeze is dead last at 18% in one-score games, 2-9. Now, Jeff Lebby's 1-3, but he's at 25% because he's only had 4 games. So he's 1-3. Brent Venable's in much better at 40%, 6-9. Steve Sarkisian, 40%, 10-15. Billy Napier, who doesn't count either now because he's been fired, but he was 50% at 7-7. So just let that sink in a little bit. Sam Pittman was at 26%. He was 14th, but he scratched. And now Napier was 11th at 50%, both ahead of Hugh Freeze. Both had been fired. Clark Lee, 59%. He's 10-7 mark at Vanderbilt, which is amazing in one-score games. DeBoer is number 8. He's 4-3 in one-score games at 43%. 57%, excuse me. Shane Beamer, 10-7, 59%. Kelly at LSU, 62%. Josh Heupel, 67%. Lane Kiffin and Eli Drinkwitz, all at 67%, tied at third. Then you got Kirby Smart at 70%, which is crazy, 23-10. And then Mike Elko is 71%. He's 5-2, so only a much smaller sample size than Kirby Smart, who's played 33 one-score games and won 23 of them. Mike Elko's played in 7 or coached in 7 one-score games and won 5. But you go down the line, Hugh Freeze is dead last. Only been able to win 2 one-score games. He's 2-9 out of 11 chances. So not pretty. Again, another stat that is just mind-blowing. It's so bad. But anyway, going to go to practice this morning. Faith and I will have a report for you after practice. Anything that we see that may be standing out, that may be different, we'll have that for you. We'll also have some info coming out of basketball a little bit later this afternoon. So make sure you tune all of that in. We'll have the Auburn Blitz show at noon with Randy and Andy. So make sure you tune that in. I know they're going to give their take on what's going on this past weekend and what the future looks like. But again, we'll be back with you tomorrow for another edition of the Auburn Blitz podcast. We hope everybody has the best day ever. Go out and do something good for somebody. And we will see you guys back here tomorrow for another edition